Hello everyone, I hope all are fine. Today I'm going to tell you how you can speak in English very fluently. You have to start with simple sentences first. You have to learn some grammar as well. Like whenever I talk to someone, I only notice something in my grammar mistakes, like what are you doing, and something wrong in my sentences or in my grammar. I stop there and think about it, like why I am talking like this. So for that reason you have to learn some grammar rules as well, because grammar is very important in making sentences. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube. They have actually taught something, and they actually give rules and a collection of ready-made sentences. It is actually more important to learn according to that. And sometimes when I started to speak in English, I fumbled at the time. Like when I usually try to speak with someone, I call like, oh, I don't have that in my mind what to call it. So the vocabulary will increase after time to time, but the grammar is a basic tool and basic essential tool to learn something and to go with it. So you have to learn a lot from it. And even if you can make simple sentences, it is all right. At the beginning it is all right. You can make small sentences, and you can use phrasal verbs as well. You can use some ready-made sentences as well. And when I remember one thing, that when I started speaking to my kid, like I have a daughter, and whenever I spoke to her, I use some ready-made sentences as well, because it actually works with her. She is a toddler and she don't give me a response like, mama, what are you talking like. It's okay if you have done some mistake at that time. Nobody cares about it. Everyone is like, okay, fine, she is speaking, she has a great caliber to speak it. Like, you have to be confident while you can speak. And if you don't be confident person, and you just make shy things like that, and you feel shyness in front of everyone, you cannot speak. Even you have a lot of vocabulary and your grammar sentences are correct, and you have a lot of knowledge in numerous way. So for that reason you don't need anyone else to talk to be like, we are like Urdu family, we belong to Urdu family, and I am living in Pakistan. There is a lot of need of English, where in offices, like whenever you applied some job in school, so there is a lot of need of, you have to put it some effort to get the job as quickly as possible. And if you don't put effort on it, and you don't step up your efforts to increase your vocabulary, then the efforts, the knowledge which you have in your mind will go in vain. So you have to do some efforts. You have to be confident. Like, I am talking to you, I don't have a lot of vocabulary in my head, so I'm not using all of it. I have vocabulary in my head, but here the need of the video is not like I have to use a difficult and a complicated vocabulary here, because you cannot understand it. So for me, every situation is different, but you have to start talking in front of everyone. Like, if you have a kid, you can start with it. If you cannot have a kid, you can download some app from Play Store. And they actually give you some free apps where you can do calls. Also paid apps are also there, but no one wants to spend money without like everyone used to and get things like in a very cheap rate or free of cost. So I do as well. So for my experience, I have learned something. Like, when I started to speak in English, I used to fumble at that time, right? Okay, like जब भी मैं बोलती थी, when I spoke to my child, like, मैंने क्या सही बोला है, लाइक डिड आई स्पीक गुड, डिड आई स्पीक करेक्ट, क्या बोला था. आफ्टर लाइक थिंकिंग प्रोसेस जो है ना, इट एक्चुअली स्टार्ट. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक आवर नेटिव लैंग्वेज. ठीक है, नेटिव लैंग्वेज में So when we talk about our native language, we used to speak fluently because we are used to of speaking it. Like every time with every person, like जब मेरे घर में guest आते हैं, when guests are invited at my home, I used to speak in Urdu with them. Like if you belong to some other country, you have your own language, and you are used to of speaking like that. So for that reason, it's okay if you are doing some mistakes while speaking, then it's okay. Nobody can bother it. Like like nag and irritate by your English, because in our society, English knows everyone, but no one can afford to speak. So for that reason, you have to speak little by little, and you can improve your vocabulary as possible by learning something, like reading some novels, watching some movies, listening some podcast, and all that. You can increase your vocabulary level, and it will elevate your confidence as well, because if you have vocabulary and you can speak in front of everyone, it can boost from you inside, like okay, fine, I can speak. So for me, the first purpose to speak in English is to create some confidence in yourself, like okay, fine, I can speak. Like whenever a person or a guest, and sometimes child can speak in English, and you bother, like you just have compliment others, like okay, like how I'm amazed how she or he speaks so well. So you should not be amazed from him. You have to try first, and if you do some mistakes, then it could be okay, because it's not our language. You have to learn, and you have to keep in your mind that if some mistakes can happen, it's not your fault. Like I do as well. Most of the time I speak in front of everyone, and I speak something wrong, and at that time, after that time, I realized that, like, Amda, you spoke something wrong. Might be possible he or she can realized, but it's none of their business, because no one wants to have things like that. No one have time to think about others wrong sentences as well. So what you have to do, just see some phrasal verbs, like, and it these sentences should be implemented in your regular routine, right? If you have kids, you can spoke with them. Like ready-made sentences are those like, what are you doing, have you done your meal, and hope you are all right, I'll be right back. So you have to cram these sentences as well. There are a lot of videos who actually made ready-made sentences for you, and I will also create and originate some useful ready-made sentences for you, and they actually helped me a lot to speak in English as well. So I hope today video you will like it, and you will love about it. And if you like it, then give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have queries according to that, you can write down the link, and you can write in the comments as well. And I hope today's video will be fine. We'll catch you later in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.